Hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. Wish it was Thursday, but here we are. Tomorrow will be Thursday, and that's closer to Friday, as you all know. You can probably tell the days of the week. Thank you all for submitting your case studies, and if you're still a little bit behind, that's okay. Go ahead and submit when you can. We're all productivity is a little bit off, and it's an overused word anyway. So I'm almost done grading your. I don't know. I've graded like half of you all's fantastic group projects. I just got to finish listening to two more, and then I'll be good. But I don't foresee anything unusual, or so you shouldn't worry. And so I'm really proud of you all for working together. I know group projects, there's a lot of good and bad to it, but I do think this is a good group project to work on, since we're focusing on community engagement, which is kind of all of us coming together to find resources and work together for a common good, or something fluffy like that. Wearing a cardigan in my apartment because I think the radiators just decided to shut off. Well, I guess one of them is, you probably can't, again, you can't see little Emmy Lou. There she is. She has found the perfect spot next to the radiator where she gets all the warmth, but she doesn't get burned. It's not that hot. It shouldn't burn her, but she just likes to sleep over there, so she's cuddled up, sleeping there. Thankfully not invading this video. So, final project, or final assignment. This is pretty exciting. The semester went by like awfully fast and awfully slow. We had a lot outside of the class going on, so yeah. Please let me know if you are missing any assignments or behind on an assignment. I keep track in the grade book, and if I see anybody, I usually nudge them, but it really would be great if you all would reach out to me and let me know if you need any help. Any kind of guidance, need a little bit more time, or just more clarification, because I know things can be confusing, and I'm often confused myself. Let's see what else. So we have discussion board posts. I need to check on one of those, because I know Chris and Maggie brought it to my attention that I think it's blank, and it should not be blank. Sometimes Canvas, when you transfer over one class from the previous semester, it's not perfect. So that just reminds me that I need to go check that out. So thank you all for letting me know, because there's a discussion board for this week. I'm excited about this week's discussion, where we're talking about critical librarianship, because it's one of my favorite topics, and kind of one of the first things I really added to the course when I started working here, and I was able to take over one section of this course, well, two sections technically. So I just added my own spin on it, like including disability and accessibility and what that means for libraries, putting that in there, putting a lot more critical thinking, talking about critical librarianship, just talking about things that I think are really important for a foundational class. Others may disagree, but you may not hear about them in other classes, or you may hear about critical librarianship, and you may be one of the few people who really knows what that means. And I also include stuff about mental health, because that's important, and that impacts not just the LIS world, but really, if you're a professional in any kind of job, or if you're a human being, you're going to deal with stuff. It's just the nature of the beast, or the nature of living. Because 1 in 5 Americans suffer from some sort of mental health crisis, whether it's anxiety, depression, an eating disorder. It's pretty common. So don't feel alone if you are struggling right now. And I know we probably are dealing with a lot right now. Like I was talking yesterday to my psychiatrist about my anxiety and depression because, we have the pandemic, an election, weird continued election stuff that won't stop, and a lot of people are spending holidays alone, like myself. People are spending holidays in smaller gatherings, so things are just changing, and change can be good, but it also can be really weird, and just kick my table, why don't we? Change can be hard. So I hope the music isn't too loud. I have trouble with silence, and recording in silence would be hard for me. Let's see if there's anything. I was going to talk about our final assignment. Yes. So we have what we've been all building up to. So refer back to your previous assignment, your thesis statement, your outline, and your references. Why can't I think of that? That was the bulk. That was probably the hardest part, I imagine. Or it is to me, to find really good resources and references, or references, whatever you want to call them, sources. If you, again, it's completely okay if you decide to change your direction, adjust your topic, completely change it, add references, as long as you have to make sure you have 20 references when you submit the paper. That's one of the big things. And again, those references don't have to, 2 of them at least need to come from peer-reviewed journals, but really I'm giving you a pretty wide range. So again, like I talked about in my last video, I posted the link to all how you can cite Twitter posts or blog posts, or something that somebody commented on a discussion board post. There's sometimes we get confined to thinking of references as books, articles, websites, what else? Professional articles. You get stuck in this, but there's so much, and like personal communication is also. So if you talk to somebody for your final paper, if you did like a kind of interview, maybe somebody who had a lot of experience with whatever you're talking about, personal communication is a perfectly acceptable reference, and actually pretty cool. I think more people should do that, because I do that in my work when I do interviews and focus groups with participants. Their words will eventually, ideally, go into my papers anonymously, but still, it's that personal communication. So really what I'm saying is, if you need to replace your references, if you found something new, interesting, if you need help knowing how to cite something, because once again, there can be some really tricky things to cite. I always struggle with legal documents, like legislative bills and statutes, and it gets a little intense. Or amendments, well, not amendments, but the nitty-gritty of LexisNexis. Anything legal that has its own odd turn to it, I'm just not used to it as